What's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Redline Racing Garage. So today is the next day. Last night we did paint the bay. I was super curious to see how this thing looks the next day, and I just wanted to come by and check it out and make sure everything is good and it's still shiny. So check this thing out. Still looks pretty shiny to me. And for you guys, looks pretty orange. Even now it looks more orange. I'm using a different camera, but still I think on this camera it's even more orange than using my phone, which is super weird. But again, I can tell you guys, this thing is not orange. It's beautiful red. Yeah, so I did come by. I wanted to check this out. I think it's about that time, guys. Have a little bit more things to address on the motor. First thing is, I do need to put some more ultra gray all around the oil pan, because I feel like the amount that I put on, it's a good sealer, but I need to go around and just put a lot more just in case, because when we start this thing up and start driving it, I hate having any leaks. So I did want to take care of that thing right away before we actually drop this motor off of the stand here. And yeah, just a couple more things that I just wanted to go through just to make sure, because I haven't worked on this for a while, so I'm not exactly sure on what we need, what we're missing. So I did take off the plastic off of it and just checking exactly to see what we still need. Just by looking at it, we still need a TPS on that. I'm gonna do the ultra gray. And also another thing is, I did get this valve cover out of the box, the K-Tune one, if you guys remember, that really nice bronze color that I liked. So I was very curious to see how this thing is gonna look up against the engine bay now with it being painted. So let me just get this thing out. I need two hands, and then let's put this up against the bay and see how it looks. All right. Again, guys, I hate the fact that on camera it looks so orange. But looking at it in person, this is just what I was looking for. This does match in person. In person, this valve cover does match the color, which is great. Also, another thing is, I will be getting a different turbo. We're not going to be reusing that one, because when I had this set up in the other EG, the original EG, I think the turbo was already starting to smoke. So I think the seals are going on that thing, and that thing is a eBay turbo. So putting it on this, I don't think it makes sense. So I did decide to get another turbo, but getting this Sidewinder manifold ready. So when I got the EG with this whole setup, it did come with this modified Sidewinder. So the previous owner, he did go and put a T3 plate on a T4, and also he did put a 44 millimeter wastegate flange on a 60 millimeter wastegate flange. So what I'm planning to do is, hopefully I can try to see if we can get this done. I'm gonna have to hit up our fabricator, the best one in town, which is Rui, and let's see if he can chop off this T3 flange and the 44 millimeter flange. Let's see if we can chop those off. Running a Sidewinder, and I'm also planning to run a little bit more boost than this setup did previously. And then when you're running a little bit more boost, it tends to creep. So we did have a 44 millimeter wastegate. I do want to get a 60 on there, because a 60 millimeter wastegate tends to creep less. And I highly recommend it, guys, when you're doing a Sidewinder and you're running probably more than 14-15 pounds of boost. Always get a 60 millimeter wastegate. You'll have less and less boost creep issues, and this is what I'm trying to address. So I'm gonna get this off, and I'm gonna go to see Rui and see what he says, if he can actually modify this and put it back to its original shape, which was a T4 with a 60 millimeter wastegate flange. So let's see if we can do that. Other than that, I think I'm pretty good on everything else. And then also just waiting to get the subframe and all that stuff back from the powder coat shop. Once we get that in, we can start by bolting up the subframe. We got the steering rack right here covered up because it's freshly painted. Those are the first two things that we're going to get mounted up, and then we're going to go ahead with the suspension stuff, and then the motor's going in. So I think we can kind of play with this a little bit in the meantime, do the suspension stuff, and then drop that motor in there. I cannot wait, guys. Finally we can get a move on this thing. Finally. Look at this valve cover, guys. This is the old one that I had on the setup. I don't think that paint was heat resistant. It's already bubbling all over the place. So I'm really glad that I did get a other valve cover. We can still use this one. This is a original Honda one. Maybe strip this down, sandblast it. Who knows? Maybe we might reuse it for something else. But yeah, it's already bubbling right there. For a mechanic shop paint job, not bad at all. Smooth, fairly smooth. Like I said in the previous video, I do want to buff all of this out, put some nice wax on it, and then maybe just, you know, eliminate a little bit of the debris that's sitting on top. It's not a lot, but there's a couple places. It's nothing too crazy. I'm actually super surprised that the finish came out like this, as smooth as it is for a friggin' mechanic shop like this. Doing it here, super smooth. That's beautiful. All right, so let's get this ultra gray going so that it has time to dry. When we're ready to go, to slap this thing in there. Also got the side skirts removed because we won't be running them, and I am going to be undercoating this thing tonight. So I will be basically masking off from here, mask all of this off this way, and then put a piece of plastic on the top so nothing gets over on the engine bay. And then we're gonna go and get this all undercoated. I did go and grab some bed liner, like truck bed liner, which is this stuff here. So this is what we're gonna use to undercoat the bottom of the car. So let's get started. All right, all taped up, ready to go. Let's start shooting the undercoat. All done, looking pretty good. I only had 3 cans, so I had to make it work. There are still a couple of areas where I would like it to kind of cover a little bit better, so I'm probably just gonna get one more can and then just touch up the rest. But for the most part, very clean, beautiful, smells very nice too.